My name is April Ross.
And tell them what it is that you do.
Well, I'm a minister and also I'm a writer full time. And I'm an author of actually three books now. I just got word that my third book is going to be published. So.
Okay. Tell me the name of your books.
The first one is So Much Drama, which is basically deals with teens and about peer pressures to let, some parents don't believe all this exists still as far as the pressure that they're under. And it just actually tells you talk to you about it and how to be able to be comfortable in talking to your child about how to, handle frustration or handle the peer pressure. And then my second book is The Reality of His Love, which is a Christian book, which just actually talks about how God loves us, why He did what He did for us, the promise that He made to us, that we shall be reunited with Him. And then the third book, of course, is Overcoming the Adversary, which is just depicts and tells you on how to overcome Satan. His tactics never changes. Just give you the full history of how he began and why he's doing what he's doing. And basically, those are the three books, yeah.
Okay. Before we go any further, the first book you wrote, the teen book, is that from personal experience or from a lot of years of research?
Well, actually, to be honest with you, I substitute taught for, about 5 years. And so I definitely worked in a high school and middle school. So I saw it. And they always came to me because I was younger and they can relate and they felt comfortable talking to me. And so I just, they scared to talk to their parents about it, or they scared to and the thing is, it's not a big thing. It's just dealing with, how you dress, if you're going to fit in, stuff like that, your hair and all that. And so I just basically wrote that book for that, particular reason, because I know there's a lot of teens that are going through that, because I went through it, of course. I'm sure everybody had peer pressure, So it's just something simple. It's actually a novel. Now, my last two books are not novels, but the first one is, yeah.
Okay, because there's even peer pressure in the church, but that's another story. Now, what about the second book, Reality of His Love? What was the centerpiece for that book? What compelled you to write that?
Well, actually, I think a lot of people question still for those who are on the brink of or trying to understand Christianity. And I'm just giving them a feel that if you're looking for someone to love you, that cares for you, regardless of what you did in your past, regardless of how you did it, you can be forgiven. And that's how much God loves us, because, for one, He gave His Son, so that we may live and be free, and He's our Redeemer. So the things I talk about there is just expressing the reality of who God is, for one, and the reality of His love, because He cares for us so much. So that book definitely, it hits home to everybody. Like I said, I had a lot of testimonies from that book. So, yeah, it's a blessing.
It sounds good. And the third one, that topic I like when you talk about overcoming the adversary. Give us a little brief of how that book came about.
That book came about, of course, like I don't know if I told you or not before we discussed about being on the show, but I lost my job back in June, and my husband lost his job back in December. And a lot of times, we rely on our jobs as an everyday thing, and the devil will even use things to make it seem like God apparently doesn't care about us if He's going to allow this to happen to you. But we have to understand that if He used the same tactics for Jesus by saying, I'll give you all of this if you follow me. So if we're willing to have faith in God and keep our eyes on Him and know the tactics of Satan, and that's another thing, we have to read the Word and study, So if you're studying and you're reading the Word, that God is your provider, that He is your sustainer regardless of your situation, then you can overcome the adversary by keeping your eyes on God. And that's what Jesus did, and that's what He was trying to show us when He was here on earth, that as long as we keep our eyes on Him, then we can overcome the adversary, because He's already defeated. He already knows what His destination is. So
That's true. I like that, the overcoming the adversary, because one of my favorite brothers, Apostle Paul, he always said, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, and for him to even make that statement, he had to be fully aware of each device that Satan has, and whenever Satan would attack him or those around him, he was able to identify that was the device of Satan, because some people, they'll think that God is doing something when really it's Satan doing it. So, I know that's a good book. That's a very good book. Now, let me ask you a question. What really inspires you and motivates you to write these books? You personally.
Well, of course, living the life, far as going through. You can't testify or write anything if you haven't yourself gone through anything, you know. And by me going through what I'm going through is not for naught. I didn't go through all this for nothing. I'm only 28 years. I know that's a young age, but I know that by going through this, and God is showing me what He wants His people to. And it's in due season. Of course, a lot of people are losing their jobs. And I think this is very important, that the gift that He has given me, and that's why I write, because as long as I'm in His will, as long as that's all I care about, being in His will and being obedient, because all I am is a servant, a vessel. So I look at it as being a vessel of God to be able to reach out to the people that are wondering, why does their life matter? Why am I here?
That's good. That's good. And who would you say are your mentors? Just give me about maybe 2 or 3 of your mentors, if you have any.
Well,
who would you say your mentors?
One of my mentors, of course, is my husband.
That's a good mentor.
Yeah, he's awesome. He knows that word. And like I said, you can know the word but not live the word, but he knows it and lives it. My second mentor is my pastor, Bishop Ernest Palmer. He is a very, very knowledgeable man, very, very deep. I mean, to the point where if you read the Bible all the time, let's say one passage, and you read it and you find different things, but he'll find something else that you're like, wow, I didn't see it that way. So he's a great teacher. So he's my mentor, and he always have the time. You know, some pastors, especially being bishop, he's a part of the Full Gospel Fellowship, don't have time to speak to, which is understandable. But their schedule's so consumed with ministry, but he makes out the time, and he every Monday we meet, and when he does Bible study, you know, and so he meets with us and makes sure that, you know, as ministers, that we are empowered and that we have what we need as far as the knowledge goes to be able to do what we're called to do.
Okay, and let them know, let my listeners know, because a lot of them might not be aware about the Full Gospel. Let them know who's the founder of the Full Gospel Fellowship.
Bishop Paul S. Morton is the founder of, the Full Gospel Baptist Church. Fellowship.
Yeah, that's an awesome brother right there. Now, that's an awesome brother, no doubt, no doubt. I like listening to him. He inspires me. I wouldn't say he's one of my mentors, but he definitely inspires me. So, what is God doing in this season in your life? What vision is He giving you, and what direction is He asking you to go in?
Well, of course, I'm a minister, and I really believe, like I said before, you know, I didn't go through all this for anything. I really believe that, of course, I know without a shadow of doubt that I'm becoming stronger and becoming closer to Him. And I feel that my vision is really to save souls. And sometimes, you know, we get to the point where, you know, I'm listening to you, God, but then we get on that pedestal and we forget what God has brought us to and what His vision is for us, our purpose. And my purpose, which is everybody's purpose should be, if you're a follower of Jesus Christ, is to save lives. Make sure they're receiving salvation. Make sure they're receiving the gospel. We have to spread the gospel in order for them to know who their Redeemer is, the reason why they're still alive, the reason why they have a job, the reason why they have their health and strength. So that's my vision, is to save souls. That's my vision. Yeah. That's
a good vision. That's the same vision Jesus had. Okay. What would you like to say about yourself? What would you say is your greatest strength? If somebody was to talk to you, what would you think they would say is your greatest strength?
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I have, and a lot of people say, I can't, you know, to this day people say, I can't believe you're still, you know, believing in God and you going through all this. You're not discouraged. You're not over here weeping and moaning, but the faith I have, that's my main one, faith. I have faith in God because I know if He did it back then, He'll do it again.
That's right. You know? Say that again. Say it again. I think people did hear that.
I said, if He can do it back then He can do it again.
That's right. That's right.
And so faith would definitely be, you know, my number one. Yeah.
Okay.